Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a couple of minutes to 6 p.m. Central Time here in the Panhandle of Florida. And guess what? You know what it's time for. It's time for your hangout with Karina and Diego on your YouTube channel for your green card and K-1 visa and spousal visa information. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you legal advice. I don't work for USCIS, although I probably should get a job at USCIS because I know how to do this process like the back of my hand. I've got almost 12 years of experience doing this. I've helped hundreds of people get their K-1 visas approved, get their green cards, etc. Now, the process is easy so long as you know how to follow directions, so long as you know how to listen and pay attention and don't make stupid mistakes. When you file for your green card or for your K-1 visa application, okay, immigration is going to look for any stupid mistakes that you might make on the form. And we have cats in here running around, so if you hear any weird noises, it's not extraterrestrials. Maru is in the house. Happy Saturday, Diego and Karina. Happy Saturday, Maru. We're glad to see you. Glad you're here. And Karina's got cut off at the neck. I don't know how to adjust this camera. If I could do something with this camera so that she's in the video better, maybe what I should do is get something to prop underneath under there, like a piece of paper or something. Then you can see Karina, right? Imran Hussein, what's going on, Imran? Let me fix this a little bit. I don't know if that's going to help. Maybe it will. Let's see what happens with that. Now, can you see Karina better now? That's a little better, right? Okay. Vimy Lola says hello. Bud Garcia, good afternoon, hi, both of you. Bud, where have you been? What was it like at Zeta Reticuli on that when you were abducted by aliens? Did you have a great vacation in Zeta Reticuli? Good to see you back on the channel. Why aren't you a member, by the way? Why haven't you signed up as a member? Like Larry signed up as a member. Maru's a member. Imran, I have a question. Tengo una pregunta. Okay, Imran. Why? That's why we are here to answer your questions, right? If you have a felony, does it affect any on the case? Yes, it does. If you have a felony, it can be a major problem for a K-1 visa application or for a green card application, whether the sponsor or if the beneficiary gets a felony while in the United States. It's not a good thing, but it depends on what it's for, okay? If it depends on what it was for. If it was for, abuse against women or children, then there's no chance of getting it. Probably not a good chance. But it depends on what it's for also, okay? If you have a felony for something stupid that is not a national security problem or wasn't going to hurt anybody, wasn't going to cause any injury to anybody, then you go to the courthouse, you pull your records, pull the public records, and include it with the green card application and the K-1 visa application. You include it and you tell immigration, hey, I got a felony, this is what it is for. Here's what happened. And as long as you're open and transparent about it and it's nothing that's going to be hurting somebody or damaging somebody or, damaging property or a national security problem, then immigration will review it. And I'm not saying they're going to deny the green card or the K-1. It all depends on what this felony was for. Let's see. Abduli Jallo. Hello, Diego. Greetings to you and your wife. It's Karina, my beautiful wife from Venezuela, watching from the United Arab Emirates. Well, let's give our friends in the United Arab Emirates a Mountain Dew salute. How about that? We love our friends in the UAE. Okay. Babu Sao. Hello, guys. This is very interesting. Okay. We'll get to that in a second. Vimy Lola. Now, Vimy is a member of this channel. So Vimy and Maru, they both have my cell number and my email address. Yeah, Reddy, you have my cell number also. That's our cat right here. So they can contact me. Vimy says, social media monitored by USCIS. Is it good or bad? It depends on what's on your social media account. Never hide anything. My real post is public. If everything's public, and you got to understand, okay? The U.S. government doesn't want to bring people into this country that don't like this country. don't like our way of life, don't like our capitalist ideology, don't like that we're a republic. There's some people there are some Americans that want to change us into a socialist kind of entity. So USCIS is reviewing everybody's social media. They're saying what you're liking, what you're not liking, what you're friends with, who you're not friends with. And if you have your Facebook account or your Instagram account, X account, YouTube account, whatever, if you have it totally locked out where nobody can see it but you and your friends list, immigration may construe that as impeding an immigration investigation. Okay? So if you have a Facebook account and it's totally blocked out, it's totally private, and immigration can't look at it, they will construe that most likely as impeding an immigration investigation for a benefit, and you could get denied your K-1 visa or your green card. So what's the secret? If you have a Facebook account, well, number one, I had a Facebook account. I got rid of it. I think it's a waste of freaking time. I don't care what my next door neighbor had for dinner. Okay, I'm not going to sit down and say, oh, yeah, you had fried eggs for breakfast. Well, I'm going to like. I deleted my Facebook account when I got back to the United States from Colombia. The only reason I had it was because it was a great place to post pictures of us together exploring Colombia. And it time dated everything. And it tells you where you're at. And when we had our Facebook account, it said that we are engaged to each other. Well, now we're married to each other. So if you have a Facebook account and Mr. American Citizen sponsor, and it says that you are interested in other women as your I don't know, what do you call it? I can't remember. But if that's your post, immigration is going to see that, and they're going to say, well, why are you interested in other women or men when you are engaged to this person? What's up with that? So if you have a Facebook account, you need to make sure it is open and public if you're going through a K-1 visa and or a 2-year green card application, or an Instagram account or Twitter, or it's X now, right? Make sure it's public, because if immigration is at the point now where they're not going to get a warrant or a subpoena probably is the best word, to open up your Facebook account. If your Facebook account is blocked, immigration can't see it. In the past, they would get a subpoena to MEDA, who would then open it up for immigration to look at it, even though it was blocked and private. Well, immigration's past that point now. They're saying if it's blocked, if they can't see it, then don't bank on getting your K-1 visa. They're just done with the paperwork. Let me see. Bud Garcia, everything's been tight. When I got everything together, I will be a member. Yeah, I understand. Sometimes it can be tight. Life can be tight. So we're going to continue to help you. Doesn't matter whether you're a member or not. But if you are a member, you get my email address and you get my phone number, and you can text me and call me and email me your questions. Remember, I got almost 12 years doing this. I've lost count of how many people I've helped get their K-1 visas approved. And I've saved a lot of people from making stupid mistakes. Imran Hussain, I was sitting in a car. They arrested me because I was talking to a minor. Okay, so there's no rule that says you can't talk to people. What's important is what were you discussing? That's what's important, right? You can talk to anybody you want, but if you got arrested for talking to a minor, the question is, what was the conversation with the minor, and what is in the police report? That's what immigration is going to look at. I mean, you can talk to anybody you want in America. This is a free country. It's a free country, especially under the current president. We're a free country. But if you got arrested for something like that, immigration is going to want to see the police report, and they're going to see what was the issue. So what you don't know what to do? Well, you need to get a copy of the police report and see what's in it. That's what you got to do. You got to see what's in the police report. Bud Garcia, how long does it usually take to get an interview for the green card? About 4 to 6 months. Now that we're not trying to help all these bogus asylum seekers get their day in court. All these freaking illegal immigrants are getting kicked out of here. So it's freeing up time for immigration to help you who are coming here the right way. Huh? Babu Sao. Hello, guys. This is very interesting. I'm on the same K1 process, about to go for my interview next month. How about age difference? Age difference doesn't matter as long as you're in a real relationship and you can prove it. If you can prove you are in a real relationship and you got a big age gap, like we got an age gap between us, but we dated each other for 3 years. We lived together in Colombia for 3 years. We had so much evidence we needed to rent a U-Haul truck just to get it to immigration. The age difference doesn't matter as long as you can prove the relationship is real and that you love each other and there's no immigration fraud going on. Okay? So don't worry about it. How long have you been dating? Well, I've made 5 trips to Colombia to see Karina, plus lived there for 3 years, almost, close to 3 years. My passport is so full of Colombian visa stamps, I don't know, I've got no space left in my passport. But the thing is this, now Colombia, when you enter Colombia now, it's going to be biometric photographs that come. You walk in, it's going to be a camera, take your picture. It's not going to be a stamp so much. Or when you leave Colombia. I think it's when you leave Colombia. Cuando tú sales Colombia, it's biometric. When you leave Colombia, it's biometrics. When you enter Colombia, they stamp your passport. Francois Livingston. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Francois, hello, and how's Hamid doing? Keep him busy. Keep Hamid working around the house. Have him do stuff. When you do remodeling projects together, get pictures of you working together. Like we got pictures. We built a deck in the backyard. I got pictures of us working in the backyard, building a deck with my long hair. Immigration's going to say, oh, wow, look at Diego. He's growing his hair out and they're working in the backyard together. What does that prove? It proves what? It proves we're co-mingling our time. We're doing stuff together, right? Francois says, hello, Bud Garcia. Larry, come on, Bud, $10 and no tax on overtime. Yeah, it's $9.99 to be a member of this channel. It's not like it's going to break the bank, okay? But it's the only way I can keep track of who's got my phone number and Karina's phone number and my email address. That's why I created the membership. So you guys can call me and email me and text me and screenshot your paperwork to me so I can review it before you send it to immigration. But the only way I can the only way I can do that is if I created a membership, so that way you guys can sign up for it. And it's like $9.99 a month. And that's not a bunch of money, unless you want to pay an immigration attorney $400 for a 5-minute phone call. But it's the only way I can keep track of who's got that. I'm not going to put my phone number out here publicly. I'm not going to do it. Because then, there's a lot of crazy people out there that are going to try and hack into the freaking channel and take it down. There's some really bad people out there. So I had to do the membership part. Christopher Reese. Good evening, Diego and Karina and everyone. Christopher Reese. Thanks for the text, by the way. Just for an FYI to everyone, buying tickets this evening for their journey across their pond. Well, that's a Mountain Dew salute. So when somebody says journey across the pond, that's military talk for flying across the Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean. When I was stationed in Sicily with the Navy, when my time was up, I flew from Sicily back to the United States. I was flying back across the pond. It's Navy speak, basically. Francois Livingston. Now, and Christopher Reese is a member of this channel too, by the way. And Maru is a member of this channel. And Maru says, all I have left is to look over my package one more time and then mail it off. Now, Maru, don't forget, you got to write a check. Don't use your credit card. Don't use your credit card to pay for this, and ship it via FedEx, UPS, or DHL. Don't use the postal service. Use a courier service, okay? The postal service is not making profit. It's a federally ran government enterprise. Now, for the most part, they do a good job. But FedEx, DHL, and UPS are a private company. They make money, and they're going to make darn sure that your package gets to where it's supposed to go. Francois Livingston. I have a friend who on occasion scares the daylights out of me and keeps telling me to be careful. Careful about what? What, crossing the street without looking both ways? Like I don't like telling Hamid is here legally. People must have nothing better to do. People are just insane. Ooh, don't worry about it, Francois. Don't worry about it. Now remember though, when you get your green card, either make a copy of it and carry it with you at all times, or carry your green card with you at all times. I got to get Karina, make sure I got to get a copy for her when she's carrying it, because immigration can walk into any workplace and say, okay, we want to check the work records of everybody. Okay, they can walk in anywhere in America, immigration or ICE, Homeland Security, whatever you want to call them. They can walk in there and say, hey, where's your work records? Are these people working here legally? Okay, immigration has a right to do that. And they're making a pretty good job of that in Los Angeles right now, which is really irritating some of those government officials, which is good. Okay, so make sure you're carrying your green card with you wherever you go, or make a copy of it and print it. And then tell, if somebody stops you at your workplace while you're working and you say, I'm here legally, here's my copy of my green card. And then if that happens to Karina, then she'll send me a text and I'll drive over there with her original one. But she's nothing to worry about. Everything. If you've got a green card and you're here legally, you got nothing to worry about. You're good to go. Now remember, work permits are getting reduced from 5 years. I'm seeing them getting issued now for only 6 months at a time. 6 months instead of 5 years. So if you're coming to the United States and you're paying $60, I can't remember, for a work permit, it's only going to be good for 6 months. So you get your work permit in what, 3 months, and then you can get your green card 4 months after that, once you've gone to your interview. So if the work permit's only good for 6 months, which is what I'm seeing, then I don't think it's even worth the money going to pay for it. Just apply for the green card and wait for the green card. Keeps you out of trouble too, right? Let me see. Lots of good folks on here. Don't worry, Francois, what people say. Just laugh at them. They're just jealous of you. Angel Marcia, happy Saturday, Diego and Karina. Many blessings to you both. Angel, you get many blessings. Mountain Dew Salute. Thank you, Angel. I love that name. Angel Marcia. Huh? Thank you, Angel. Christopher Reese saying hello to Francois. It's good to see you again. And Francois, hello, Christopher Reese. Larry Piercy, and we get every other Wednesday off. Who's we? Larry, I thought you got every day off. I thought you were retired. See, I retired 3 times already. I retired from the Navy. I retired from Mercedes-Benz. I retired from real estate. I don't know what else I can retire from. So I do YouTube now. So I should make more videos, I guess. But I spent the last month in the backyard putting the yard together. I built a deck. I built not a shed. I built fences, a gate. I made the backyard look pretty good. Planted a bunch of trees that's going to grow nice and tall, so nobody's can't look across the fence and see Karina in the backyard. Larry Piercy, you were off on Wednesday. I took the day off, okay? Sometimes I'll take a day off. I was just worn out. I was tired and wore out. So I took the Wednesday off. But here we are Saturday. Sometimes I'll take a day off. Let me see here. Christopher Reese, going to need help, Diego, with this next journey. That's why I'm here. You're a member of the channel. I'm going to look at your application just like I'm an immigration officer. I'll look at it like I'm an immigration officer, and I will get you through this, okay? Want to have it ready for the adjustment of status. That's why I'm here. That's why I know you have my phone number, you have my email, and you know I'm going to get you through this. Maru, I will do just that and use FedEx or UPS and write a check. And you write a check out to these people right here. Okay, look, pay attention, class. This is who you make out the check to. Okay, when you pay for your green card, or your K-1 visa application, you make out the check to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. And you don't put any abbreviations in there. You don't make it USDEPT/HM land. It's U.S. Department of Homeland, and I forgot Security. Right? U.S. Department of Homeland Security. You got to write it on the check, complete, or get a cashier's check. Don't use your credit card to pay for your K-1 visa or your green card application. Don't do it. Listen to Diego. You can use your credit card to pay for the consular fee at the embassy or at the consulate. If I paid for Karina's consular fee at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, right here in this office, not on this computer. I got a new computer, but I did it right here. Okay. I used my credit card. It was $260, but I paid for the K-1 visa and I paid for her green card with a check, a personal check. And both our names are on the checking account. So it was Diego and Karina Ross with our name, our address, and phone number on the check when we sent it off for her green card. So immigration got a check from our bank with her name on it, paying for the green card. That's what immigration's looking for. Okay. Kevin Cameron, welcome to the Green Card Visa channel. Welcome as a member. Mountain Dew salute to Kevin. He just signed up as a member. So now, Kevin, all you got to do is go into the private videos, the member videos, look for Diego's contact information, and send me a text message or an email and identify who you are. Mountain Dew salute. Go in there and say, send me a text message to the cell phone and say, hey, this is Kevin. And that way I know who you are. If you send me a text message and I don't know who you are, I'm not going to respond to it. Because, there's all these spammers out there. They send you all this garbage. The phone rings. Karina's like, it's the phone. Oh, yeah, it's a freaking spammer. Okay. But if you go into the members only videos, look for my contact info, Kevin, and then you can send me a text and an email, identify who you are, and then I'll have you ready to answer your questions. If you need emergency help with your green card or your K-1, whatever you need, I'll help you with it. Okay. That's why we're here. I'm retired 3 times. Okay. I got nothing else to do. And I got done all my chores in the yard. I built the deck. I got the fences built. I put a fence in the back, 1, 2, 3 sides, and a gate. I planted all the flowers. I got nothing else to do in the yard except enjoy it. So now my time is free, basically now, to help you personally with your green card and K-1 visas. Remember, I don't retire. Even though I've retired 3 times, I don't retire. I keep working. Okay? And now I'm working on this channel to help you guys. I was off on Wednesday, Larry. Francois, you deserve time off. Never seen anyone so dedicated to a channel like you and Karina. I am blessed to be in this country, the United States of America. I'm blessed to have Karina as my wife. I couldn't ask for anybody else, okay? And I definitely am blessed to be an American. So I made this channel for you guys. It was Karina's idea in Colombia. I put the channel together to give something back. This is a way for me to give something back after I've received so many blessings in my life. This is one way to give something back by putting this channel together. And I do it for free for the most part. Okay, but if you want my phone number and email, I got to charge a membership fee. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's the only way I can protect the phone number to protect the channel. Like Kevin says, good evening, Diego and Karina. We appreciate you, Kevin, signing up as a member. Okay. Let me see here. Maru, yeah, use FedEx or UPS or DHL. Don't mail it with the postal system. Francois, congratulations to Christopher Reese. Your soon-to-be wife is on her way in an airplane, just like this one, right? 747. This is the plane that we flew on from Bogota, Colombia to Miami. Well, not this particular one because this is a plastic model, right? But this is the type of airplane that we flew on, and it even says Colombia on here, Avianca, and I couldn't pass by not getting this as I couldn't not get it. I had to get it. Look, I don't know if you can see that, but it says Avianca, and on the side it says Colombia. So I got the plane, and I said, okay, we'll put it in the live stream. That's what we flew on to Miami. Let me see. For Christopher Reese, if I remember right, it's best to adjust status within the first 90 days. You remember correctly. You want to get married within 90 days, so you're in status, and then you want to apply for the 2-year green card about 55 to 60 days after you get married, which will put you in the 90-day window. Okay, so immigration is going to open up your application for the 2-year green card. They're going to see that you got married within 90 days. They take the marriage certificate and they put it alongside the I-94. You must include the I-94 in your 2-year green card application. They put this marriage certificate alongside the I-94. They make sure that you got married within the dates on the I-94. You're in status. And then you want to take the next 45, 50, 60 days to build the evidence for your green card. You don't come to the United States, get married, and then file for your 2-year green card the next day. You don't do that. You don't have enough evidence to put in a 2-year green card application after you've only been in the United States for a week or two. You don't have enough evidence. You got to have bank statements. You got to put your beneficiary on the water bill, the trash bill, the electric bill, on the title to the car, the title to the RV, the title to the motorcycle. You got to show cohabitation, commingling of funds, building a life together, and you've got 90 days to do it. Okay? If you go past 90 days before you file for your green card, immigration is not going to have any heartburn over it. They won't give you a hard time, but they would much rather you get it done within the 90 days. Now, you don't want to go past 6 months. Once you get to you get married within 90 days, you're in status. You got to get it done within at least 60 days. We did it in 58 days. We got our green card in for Karina within 58 days. But you don't want to go past 6 months, okay? If you go past 6 months, it's going to be a problem. Let me see. Christopher, Francois, and Dee, they will be here the 23rd of September. Very good. Christopher, best to wait on the green card from what I see and read. Yeah, why don't you apply for your 2-year green card? Just kick back and wait for it. You got nothing to worry about so long as you submit it, without any mistakes. Right now, immigration is cracking down on people making mistakes. If you fill out the paperwork incorrectly, if you fill out the 864, the affidavit of support, if you mess it up, if you fill that out incorrectly, immigration is going to jack you on it. They may just go ahead and deny your green card. If you make a mistake on the affidavit of support, they're getting to the point where they're just denying green cards. So don't make any mistakes when you fill out the paperwork. Don't make any mistakes. 0 mistakes, tons of evidence, real relationship, bona fide relationship, and you're good to go. Immigration don't want to see you making paperwork errors because it slows them down. And when they get slowed down, they get irritated. They do. That's it. They're doing this all day, every day. And this person didn't do this. This person didn't do. Deny it. I'm sick of this. Make sure before you mail off your green card application or your K-1 visa package, you have not made any mistakes. Typos on the names, passport numbers, date of births. In Europe or in South America, in Colombia, the date is backwards than from the United States. I'm riding on the Transmillennial with Karina. We're running on the bus, and I'm looking up at the date on the bus. It's like running on this, and I'm looking at the date, and I say, "What the heck is that?" And Karina said, "It's the date." I said, "But it's not correct." And she said, "No, it's for me." She said, "It's not correct." So they reverse everything. So if you're from South America and you're used to writing the date a certain way, it could be wrong when you put it on your paperwork for your K-1 visa application or your green card application. Okay, it's month, day, year, right? In Colombia, it's day, month, year. In Colombia, it's day, month, year. In America, it's month, day, year. Don't mess that up. If you're from Colombia and you're filling out your 485 to adjust status and you put the date down backwards, immigration is going to send it back or just forget about it. Do you see what I'm saying? We are in times now where you have to make 0 mistakes. Okay. Christopher, I retire in 5 years. Okay. 5 years. So we're going to put mega pixie dust on all those next 5 years. I'm sick of retiring. I retired so many times, I lost track. I'm like, I'm done retiring. I want to do this YouTube channel forever, right? Right? Yeah, forever and ever. I just keep doing this. I was off on Wednesday, Larry. Okay, I took a day off. I took the day off. I was tired. Okay. Francois, you deserve time off. Never seen anyone so dedicated to a channel like you and Karina. Well, like I said, Francois, I'm so blessed to have Karina. I'm so blessed to live in this country and have everything that I have, that we have. I mean, I could never have built anything like this in you know, probably some other country. There's no way. America is just a wonderful place if you're willing to work hard and sweat equity and hard work. You get ahead here. If you're lazy in America, don't expect to win anything. Okay. Christopher Reese, 52 and be done. Sure, I'll be find stuff to do, but no more backbreaking maintenance work. I understand. I'm with you. Kevin Cameron said, good evening. We welcome Kevin to the channel. Kevin's now a member of this channel. We're glad to have you as a member. Another Mountain Dew salute to Kevin. And don't be shy as a member. Listen, guys, if you're a member of this channel, don't be shy to text me or email me your questions or screenshot your paperwork that you want me to review. I reviewed Maru's total package, everything. And then I just tweaked it here and you know, if you make a mistake, I'm going to fix it for you. All right. So let me see. Department of Homeland Security is who I will be paying the next journey. Yeah, that's right, Christopher. And I used a credit card, a debit card for the medical interview. Yeah, you can, for the medical interview, you can use cash, your debit card. Everything else was a check. It was awkward. I never wrote a check. Had to think about it. I'd never written a check in 20 years. Seriously. And I said, okay, I'm going to write. I knew that to write a check is the safest way to get the money into the hands of USCIS and immigration. Okay. USCIS will get your check, electronically scan it, and the bank pays them immediately. If you use your credit card, 9 times out of 10, the bank won't recognize the charge. You're going to get a block, and your green card's going to go into a galactic black hole, and you're not going to know what the heck's going on with it until immigration get paid. Okay. Christopher Reese, Pregunta para ti. How is your class going, Karina? I think you're on break now. Yeah. She said she returns back to school in August. August 12th. As classes resume. And she's back in English class. Okay. Remember now, your goal as a beneficiary coming to America is to become part of this melting pot, to assimilate and become an American. Your goal shouldn't be all about the 2-year green card or the 10-year green card. Your goal as a beneficiary should be, how do I become a U.S. citizen? What is the process? How do I fill out an N-400? Okay. And you can become, you are qualified for U.S. citizenship 3 years after from the issue date on your 2-year green card. All right. Focus on becoming an American. That's the goal. Immigration want to Americanize you. Okay. They don't want you to get a green card and use it as a tourist visa. They want you to come to America, get a job, build a life, become an American. That's what immigration wants to see. Okay? Listen to Diego, okay? Pay attention, class. Christopher Reese already got her on my mortgage. Good. Bank and bills, they're not even here yet. There you go. Good work. Francois Livingston, I took my sweet time, 6 months to send the green card. That's okay, Francois, because I wanted to send a solid package. And you did it within 6 months. Okay? You paid attention to Diego. You didn't break the 6-month rule, so you were good. You were good. You were perfectly fine. Christopher Reese, no RFE, no 221G so far. Ain't about to start now. There you go. Kevin Cameron, I will need your help with her adjustment of status. That's what, no problem. She is flying here on the 28th of this month. Felt like forever. I can't believe it's almost here. Thank you for all your help, Diego. Kevin. Okay, first I'm going to put mega pixie dust on the airplane, okay? And a Mountain Dew salute for your positivity, okay? We are going to get your adjustment of status paperwork filled out, no errors, no problems, and you have my cell number, my email address, and I will guide you through it step by step so you don't make any mistakes. Because we are now in the times of no mistakes, zero errors. Okay? It's like you're a doctor doing surgery on an eye. You're an eye doctor. If you're an eye doctor, you can't make a mistake, right? Can't make a mistake. One mistake costs somebody their eyesight. Same is true with the green card application or a K-1 visa. One mistake could cost somebody their green card. So we are in times of zero errors. I will help you, Kevin. But you need to go into the members only videos and get my contact info. Christopher Reese, when she did her interview, she put down 300 pictures. Told her it was overkill. Guess we got more pictures to take before adjustment of status. There's no such thing as overkill when you are applying for a K-1 visa or a green card. There's no such thing as overkill. Only if you put together a real crappy green card application with hardly anything in it, or a K-1 visa application with only one trip where you spent a week there and 3 pictures, okay? That's not the way to get a K-1 visa. And when you apply for your green card, you got to show your photos. You got to include photos of your relationship. When we applied for Karina's K1 for her 2-year green card, we put photos in there from 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. We had 4 years worth of pictures. I mean, you got to back it this. Remember, immigration has only one opportunity to look at your application, and they have to make a decision on this. Once they've reviewed it, they have to make a decision. You want that decision to be positive. You want to get approved. If you hang out with Karina and I on this channel, I will get you approved. As long as you qualify for the benefit. You got to qualify. Christopher, we date 12 July 2025 was odd to date, day, month, year. You gotta do it the way that you gotta write the date on your paperwork the way it's written in the United States, not the way it's written in South America or in England. Larry Piercy, in military, it is day, month, year, like Colombia. Well, Colombia is spelled with an O, not a U, Larry. It's Colombia. Colombia. Come on, you're going to get me in trouble, man. It's Colombia. Colombia is in South Carolina. Maru, thank you so much for reviewing my package. You're welcome, Maru. I was a pleasure, and we're going to get you approved, okay? Christopher Reese, congratulations to you, Kevin. Where is she coming from? Christopher Reese, in Larry, that is the only way I know the date. Other way looks incorrect. I was in the military 20 years. I know that. But we're not filing for military paperwork. We're not filling out a DD-214. We're doing a K-1 visa application or a green card application. Christopher, Chris and Emil, member for 3 months. Thanks for being a member. Look at that, 3 months. Chris and Emil, 3 months. Look at that. Mountain Dew salute for 3 months as a member. Chris and Emil. Very good. We appreciate Chris and Emil for the support in the channel. Let me see. Christopher, I understand about the date, okay? Christopher Reese, she's photogenic. Me and all mine look like that awesome military ID card. Yeah. When I go on the military base with my hair like this, they have to double check my military ID. They're like, what the heck, Diego? Let me see. Kevin Cameron, she's coming from the Philippines. I'm ready. I don't blame you, Kevin. And we look forward to helping her come to the Philippines. Now, remember, Kevin, once she has her K-1 visa, everything's done. You got to get the CFO out of the way also. The Philippine government requires a CFO be completed by all Philippine nationals who are going to leave Philippines and live in another country. Christopher Reese, nice, Kevin. That is where my lady is from, Pampanga. Pampanga. Larry Piercy, well, Alexia spells it this way. Alexia, let me tell you, Alexia, I got no time for Alexia, okay? Honestly. Kevin Cameron, she is from Sipalay. Don't know if it's spelled that right, LOL. Sipalay in the Philippines. I don't know where that is. But my friend used to live in Dumaguete in central Philippines. I believe it's he had a YouTube channel. My friend had a YouTube channel called Every Man Has a Story. Okay. And I when I was living in Colombia with Karina, we did a show with him on his channel, but he just recently passed away. You know, he married a Filipina, lived in Dumaguete, and they didn't want to live in the United States. They had a little baby, and I guess that child's now probably about 1 year old, almost 1 year old. But as soon as he had a baby, he passed away. But he's a friend of mine. He had a YouTube channel called Every Man Has a Story. And it was sad, but we did a live stream together from Colombia in the Philippines, and it was pretty cool doing a live stream. He was in the Philippines, I was in Colombia, and I gave him a tour of our apartment. He said, "Let me check out the apartment," and that's what we did. Let me see. I don't know where Sipalay is. Christopher Reese, you seen these guys at the gate with the beard, Diego? It blew my mind. Even on submarines, we can grow beards like that. Listen, the military is getting refurbished and re-energized into a combat military force, okay? The United States military, under the past administration and under previous administrations, excluding Trump, hasn't been mentally or physically prepared for what we're supposed to be doing in the military. But that's another story. Let me see. Kevin to Kevin, Christopher to Kevin is about Pampanga is about 23 hours apart. Dang, that's like the United States. I mean, you've got what? How many time zones we got? We got Pacific time, we got Mountain time, we got Central time, we got Eastern time. I think that's it, right? Larry Piercy, how old Kia? Man in Philippines. How old Kia? Well, is that what you're asking? How old is a Kia, the car, in the Philippines? I don't know if the Philippines has Kias, but they have lots of motorcycles and tuk-tuks, right? Isn't that what they're called, tuk-tuks? You get around in a tuk-tuk. I want to take Karina to the Philippines. I want to take her there. But not until she's a U.S. citizen. When she got her passport, American passport, then we're going to bounce around a few countries, okay? But for right now, we're not going anywhere. Except we're going to go on vacation in September. And I told her where we're going. So she's all excited about our next vacation. In March, we were in Nevada and Arizona in the desert. We drove across the desert. I rented an F-350. We drove from Las Vegas across the Mojave Desert. And we ate at Denny's in Pahrump, Nevada. Explored Pahrump. You know, that's where Coast to Coast radio station originated. And we went and had a great time on our vacation. Took her to the Grand Canyon. Karina went to the Grand Canyon. And we hiked the South Rim, I think we did. I remember my feet were telling me no more walking. We walked the entire Las Vegas Strip. Okay, from where it says "Welcome to Las Vegas," near the entry into Las Vegas, we walked the entire strip all the way to Fremont Street. We were walking, lots of walk. We went from where you enter Las Vegas at the entry there, across from the McCarran, the airport, the Harry Reid Airport. We walked from there all the way to Fremont Street, and we got to Fremont Street, and I was like, we're going to catch the freaking bus back to the hotel. So we jumped on the Deuce bus back to the hotel. My feet just wore out. But Karina and I, we walked together the entire Las Vegas Strip. We get photos. We got pictures in front of all the hotels. We made a video about it. And now as a new member, Kevin is a new member of the channel, you can watch that video in our members only section. Let me see. Christopher Reese. Simpele is known for beaches and caves, and Pampanga is known for food. Well, I mean, I'm all in on the food part. So I've done, done beached out. We've done all the beaches we can possibly do. I think if we go to the Philippines, I want to take her to Cebu. I want to take her into Cebu and go swim with those whales, right? Christopher Reese, don't drive in the Philippines. You bald on top like me, Diego. No, I don't know if I'm bald. I just got lots of hair. I just keep a hat on because it keeps my hair down, because it goes all fluffy. I look like the guy from Ancient Aliens, from the History Channel. He's the publisher of Legendary Times. Gets his hair up like this. From the, I don't know, Ancient Aliens guys. I did a couple times. They learned a few hand gestures. Thanks to me, they drive so carelessly. I drove in Sicily, Italy. I've driven in England. Okay. But I wouldn't drive in Bogota, Colombia. There's no way I'm driving in Colombia. I'm on the bus, in a taxi, in an Uber, but I wouldn't drive in Colombia. And I drove in England, and they drive on the wrong side of the road. So that was kind of hairy. And I drove for 3 years in Sicily, which was pretty cool. I had to learn how to, after I completed my 3-year tour in Sicily, I had to go through a class the military set up to teach me how to drive again in the United States. Because in Sicily, you can drive on the sidewalk, you can make your own lanes, you can run red lights, you can do all that crazy stuff. But you can't do that in America. So they put me through a 1-hour class of, remember, Diego, you're flying back to America. You can't drive like you were driving in Sicily. I said, okay. Larry Piercy, that gesture is known around the world, Christo. Christopher Reese, don't do the balut. 1 second here. Don't do the balut. I did this never again. Christopher, Larry, maybe so, but they don't get the Midwest talk. Christopher Reese, drive on the sidewalk too, Diego. Yeah, in Sicily. I remember I was in Naples, Italy. I was on the ship. Okay, we pulled into Naples, Italy. I'd never been to Naples, Italy before, and I went and I was looking for pizza places. So I jumped in a taxi, and I said, "Take me to the first pizza place that ever opened in Sicily." In Italy, in Naples. And the guy we're going through these tunnels in Naples, Italy, and the driver was making his own lane. There was like 2 lanes going into this tunnel, and he made his own lane and went up on the sidewalk like this. And we're going about 70 miles an hour through a tunnel with 2 wheels up on the sidewalk and 2 wheels in the gutter. I'm like, man, I guess I'm so glad I got insurance with the military. Chris and Emil, Larry Piercy, eat a good steak for us at Texas Roadhouse. Larry Piercy, jarheads have a very salty verbiage. Christopher Reese, I will send you the video of me eating balut. That is Diego and Karina. I know what balut is in the Philippines because I have Filipino friends when I was in the Navy, and they told me don't eat balut. I trust them. They were Filipinos, and they told me not to eat it. Larry Piercy, come on, Chris. There we go. We're just happy for Larry and Mogi. We're happy for Francois and Hamid. Francois and Hamid, again, and Larry and Mogi, they got their 2-year green card. Mogi, she's from Thailand. My dad is from Thailand. My dad lives in Thailand. When my mom died in 1994, in 1995, my dad went to Thailand on vacation, and he married a lady from Thailand and never came back. Chris and Emil, you just earned 7 cents on YouTube ads. Well, like I said, 7 cents is irrelevant. I don't do this channel because I need to do it for the money. Even 7 cents is 7 cents, right? I don't do it for the money. I do it to help you guys. It's got nothing to do with money. But 7 cents is 7 cents. I'll take it. All right? Because you know what I can do with 7 cents? I can turn it into 10 cents. And that will help Karina learn how American money system works. Chris and Emil. LOL. Oh, yeah, Chris. And Larry Piercy, I embarrassed him. Christopher, Larry, you think jarheads have language? Squids invented that language. Look, Marines and the Navy work together very closely, and the Marines are on Navy ships. When I was deployed in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea, I was on a big ship deployed in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea. We had Marines on board. We had Navy SEALs on board. Okay, and we all work as a team. And the Marines, they basically stacked to themselves. They had a MARDET, which was called a MARDET, is a Marine detachment. And they basically stick with themselves and ate in the corner. And the SEALs, they sat over there and they ate in the corner. And the intelligence guys, the intel persons, they sat over in their little corner. So nobody could share conversations with each little group. It was basically compartmented conversations. The Marines wouldn't talk stuff with the Navy. The Navy, the intel guys didn't want to have their conversations overheard, so they sat over in the far away, et cetera, et cetera. But totally, when you put the package together, you had a mission accomplishment. So not everybody knows what everybody's mission is, but at the end, it's mission accomplishment. Christopher Reese, Marines eat and lift weights and sleep is what I hear they do. Never had a Marine on a sub. Well, they do work out, and they do eat. And they also train, and they also study what they have to do in the event of whatever it is they have to do. They're always training. They're always doing something. Okay, they're never bored. When you get bored at sea on a ship, that's when, you don't want to get bored at sea. So you always find things to do. I worked 7 days a week when I was deployed. I worked every single day. And on Sundays, we had a Still Beach picnic up on the back of the ship. We'd have a picnic, a barbecue, and I'd throw hamburgers over the back to see if I could bring sharks in. And but the sharks, they'd coming in and they'd be sniffing around where we were dumping the sewage. So we'd dump the sewage off the ships, and the sharks would swim around that. And it was pretty interesting going out and being at sea. Christopher Reese, I just picking my dad was 30-year Marine. I miss hearing his stories. Well, my dad was 20 years in the Navy, and I miss his stories too, but he didn't tell me too many stories. I guess his job wouldn't let me. I guess whatever he did in the Navy, he couldn't tell me what his stories were. But anyway, he lives in Thailand now. How long have I been talking for? Almost an hour. Have we learned anything new today about K-1 visas and green cards? Did we learn that immigration is reviewing your Facebook posts, your Instagram posts? You have a 2-year, Karina has a 2-year green card. She's had it. And in March of next year, which is about 8 months away, she's going to apply for her 10-year green card. But immigration, every now and then, they'll take a look at her Instagram posts to see what she's posting. They're looking at what she's doing. What is she liking? Okay? They're going to do the same for you guys. Your social media has to be public if you're in a K-1 visa or a green card application. If it's not public, your Facebook post, your Instagram post can be misconstrued as impeding a federal investigation for your benefit. Immigration's done getting subpoenas, opening up Facebook accounts. In the past, they'd get a subpoena. Well, this guy's Facebook account is totally closed. I can't see into it. We need to open it up to review his Facebook account. Those days are over. They're done wasting time getting subpoenas, going through the courts. If they can't see your Facebook account or your Instagram account or whatever you're posting on X, okay, if they can't see it, they're going to say you are impeding an investigation of your benefit, and they're just going to say denied. Pay attention to class, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You got to pay attention to what I'm telling you. Mostly boot camp stories, says Christopher. Larry Piercy, I have learned I will never do this again. Giant piles of whatever that is. You'll never do what again? What, file for a green card for anybody? Well, we hope not. Let me see. Let's get Karina in the video a bit better. Yeah, filling out great paperwork for a green card is not easy. It requires a lot of dedication. Filling out a K-1 visa application takes a lot of dedication. It's not easy. You want to date somebody for at least a year and make 2 trips to go see that person if you want to get a freaking K-1 visa now. If you want to get a K1 visa approved, you want to make at least 2 trips and spend a couple of months with that person, okay? Have copious amounts of evidence of communication, okay? You can't just apply for a K1 visa after you jumped on a plane and spent the weekend with somebody. You fell in love with somebody online, you flew somewhere, you flew to Australia for the weekend or for 2 weeks or a week. You can't do that anymore. You can't, there's none of this eloping stuff anymore. You got to be in a relationship. You got to prove it. Christopher Reese, Karina looking like that man in the TV show in the backyard. I think it was named Home Improvement. There you go. Larry Piercy was very lucky the first time. This K1 visa process right now, as of July 12th, 2025, is a very, very strict process. So is the green card application. So let's suppose you have a 10-year green card and you're filing an I-90, you're going to renew your 10-year green card for another 10-year green card. Immigration is going to ask, why the heck are you not a U.S. citizen? Why have you been in America for 10 years, and you're not a U.S. citizen? You're enjoying the benefits, but you don't want to become part of this great country? That's how strict it's going to be. Okay? One mistake, one typo, you misspell your name. You imagine your fiance is from Thailand and she's got a name that's this long, and you misspell her name by a typo. Your whole package is coming back to you. Can't make mistakes. So if your fiance has got a very long name, I'm not picking on Thailand, but if she has a very long name, or he, you make sure you spell it right the first time, and you go over your K1 visa application. The K1 visa, is it what, 13 pages? I'm going to have to redo it, make a new video on the I-129F. It's not hard to do. That's why you don't want to put a third party in charge of your application. You don't want to spend $4,000 or $5,000 with an immigration attorney or to process a K1 visa, because immigration attorneys will take your money. Okay, you're going to help with their Porsche car payment, which is fine. I got no problem with immigration attorneys making lots of money. I'm happy for them. They go to school and they take the exams and they pass the bar, and they're very intelligent, and they're making a good living. Okay, but you don't need one of these persons to do a simple K1 visa application. Now, if you have a felony record, if you have a criminal record, have an immigration attorney review it before you file the K1. Pay for a consulting fee. Pay a consulting fee. Say, hey, you go to the courthouse, you download your criminal record, you pay a consulting fee to an immigration attorney and have them review your criminal record and see if you qualify for the K1. If you qualify, then go home and fill out the paperwork yourself, or jump on the channel with us and we'll help you do it. Okay? But I'd much rather you guys pay a $400 consulting fee to see if you qualify with an immigration attorney than pay $4,000 or $5,000 when you don't even know if you qualify or not. Big difference, right? And how many immigration attorneys have actually married a foreign national and brought them to the United States? How many? I don't know of any. I don't know of anybody. They just went to school, which I'm not knocking that. I think it's great. I mean, becoming an attorney is not easy. It's a difficult school. The bar exam is difficult. But you want somebody to help you with this package who's been through the swamps and pulled all the knives out, right? Now, I've got 12 years doing this, almost. There's not one thing I don't know how to do on a K1 visa or a green card application. But don't ask me about student visas. I have got no clue on how a student visa works. Let me see. Larry Piercy, lucky the first time. Lots of due diligence, yes. Christopher Reese, the I-485 and the 864 be coming to your email soon, Diego. Well, that's why I'm here. Send it to me when you get it ready, and I'm going to review it like I'm an immigration attorney or like I'm an immigration officer. That's how I'm going to review it. But I'm going to give you 12 years of experience, and I'm going to tell you if you messed it up or not. If you haven't messed it up, I'll tell you. But if you mess it up, I'm going to circle the things that you need to fix, and then I'll send it back to you. So Christopher, I'm looking forward to helping you, okay? Speaking of long names, we had a K-10 and B-14 while I was in the Navy. Seriously. Chris and Emil, Larry Piercy, no tax on tips. That's correct. And if you're 65 or older, you get a $6,000 deduction on your Social Security. I don't qualify for that. But Karina said, hey, you're going to get a discount. I said, no, I don't qualify. But when you're 65 or older, you can, up to 2028, when you file your taxes, if you're on Social Security, you can get a $6,000 deduction included with your other deductions. And Larry Piercy, party on, Chris. Bud Garcia, Bud, you could have been a member, signed up already by now. Well, I don't have much to say, so I'm going to go for now. Have a great and blessed weekend. You too, Bud. And if you were a member, Bud, you could be texting me already. Chris and Emma, no tax on PS, no tax on property taxes. Well, property tax is a tax. And in the state of Florida, where we live, the governor is trying to find a way to eliminate property taxes. If he does that, this state is going to grow exponentially because everybody's going to want to move here. Christopher Reese, I have seen some things lately, really sad people getting to interviews to only find out their partner's still married. I say this just to do your homework. Here's the deal. Don't be a victim, be a victor. Run your life with your brain, not your heart. And then you won't have any problems, right? Larry Piercy, the definition of a sham is a busload of attorneys going over a cliff with 3 empty seats. Okay, Larry. Ashamed. Fazak. Now, Fazak's a member. AI will soon be used to fill in all this paperwork, if not already in use. Students used to answer exams. Artificial intelligence is a good thing, and maybe it could be a bad thing. Okay? You always want to rely on your own initiative and your own knowledge, not on a computer, unless you're like in college trying to Google information for a class exam, whatever. But you got a good point. AI will soon be used to fill in all the paperwork. That's a good point. Christopher Reese, property tax in North Carolina is totally insane. Up from $4,200 now, $4,590 this year. Well, you have a government. You have county commissioners. It's not so much the state government. It's the county commissioners. Okay, well, it could be the state government, but you gotta elect county commissioners that will lower property taxes. Okay, when you have a government that thinks that they can do better with your money than you can, then you're falling into tyranny. Then you're falling into socialism. You got to elect new county commissioners. Don't go there, Chris. Don't move there. Fazak, as a retiree, my biggest expenses are property taxes and insurance. That's the same for us. Okay? Property taxes and federal taxes and insurance. But we don't have a state tax in Florida, so we don't pay state taxes here. And property taxes here are not too bad. They're not too bad. I can handle it. Okay? But I don't like it. Christopher Reese, I can only stay here because this is where my 3 children are still young. Well, I can understand that, Christopher, no problem. But we live in Florida. We don't pay state taxes. We got low property taxes. Gas prices have come down significantly. It's $4 for a dozen eggs now. 18 eggs is only like $4. So the economy is getting some kind of control. Chris and Emil, Trump needs to push that in the states. Well, that's true, but it's the states that control the property taxes. Okay, not the federal. The federal government doesn't control property taxes. That's the state level. And California is going to keep losing people all the while they keep jacking up their taxes. It's just the way it is. If it costs 3 times as much money to live in California than it does in Nevada, people are going to move to Nevada. Fazak, I know investors now using AI for legal papers instead of lawyers. Well, that could be fine, but it could fall into problems too, because sometimes you do need a lawyer for something, and if the signature is from AI and not from an attorney, the document may not be legal. Kevin Cameron, JB Pritzker here in Illinois is trying to tax us for everything. It's crazy. Well, if you're in Illinois, you're in one of those blue states, okay? Illinois, when I say blue state, that's a state ran by socialist Democrats. If you get what you vote for, people elect those people into office, you suffer the consequences of it. In here in Florida, we're a red state, okay? And we have people that want low taxes, low gas prices, low property taxes. It's just what we elected. Christopher, I'll be in touch soon, Diego. We're here for you. You all have a good evening. To everyone else, have a great weekend. Larry Piercy is saying, have a good weekend to Kevin. And Chris and them will have a wonderful weekend, shower time in bed. And I've been talking for an hour and 5 minutes, and we're out of here too. We'll see you on the next live stream. I took a Wednesday off. I just had to take a day off, okay? Today's what, Saturday? We'll be back on Monday. Lunes. Today's July 12th, 2025. We'll be back on the 13th of July. See you then. Thanks for hanging out with us. And Kevin, thanks for signing up as a member. We appreciate that.